Well, now he's saying that he's still going to try to play Aaron Rodgers. He's not allowed to go back into the facility until Saturday, uh, barring, as long as he's got all negative tests and stuff when he goes back. Do you see him playing against Seattle?
I do.
You think he's
Because
going to play?
Jordan Love did not look very, very impressive.
No, not at all.
So I watched the Chiefs a decent amount, and a lot of people probably do, but not just because Mahomes is my quarterback, but because usually they're somewhat of an entertaining team.
Yeah, they're a
If
fun
you've
team.
watched them at all this year, there's two guys that play on their defense that every single time they're mentioned, it's only in a negative way. One is Daniel Sorensen, who gave up the only touchdown the other day because he simply can't cover. And for some strange reason, Spagnuolo and Reed don't want to see this. The other one is Neiman, the linebacker, and it's like another guy that just never seems to be in the right place at the right time. He just makes every bad mistake. And even with that, the Chiefs only gave up 7 points the other day. That's how bad Love was.
Yeah.
The 7 points was like a 4th down throw to Lazard, or maybe it was a 3rd down throw, where Sorensen blew the coverage. Lazard walked in. But I just don't think that they're ready to give the reins over to Love yet. I'm not saying it's the kid's fault, and he's going to eventually take over. But I mean, I think that they're trying to still, get that 1 or 2 seed in the conference. They have to head over Arizona. So if they can stay with them,
right,
finish even somehow, some way, and you got to figure Arizona's got the Rams again. They have good teams to play. So. I think Green Bay has to try to win every game and get that home field advantage up in Green Bay in January.
Do you think Green Bay goes into the quarterback derby at the end of the season? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers more than likely is gone, but do they try to get a Deshaun Watson? Do they try to get one of those types of quarterbacks? Or do you just go with Love?
I think they probably go 1 year with Love.
I mean, because that's all you need is Love.
Dun, dun, da, da, da. All you need is love. I mean, listen, they drafted the kid for a reason. Kansas City, not an easy place to play for your first start. Gets loud, but at the same time, he didn't look like he had it. But you drafted him in the first round. You got to give him a bit of a chance to play.
I got to tell you, I was reading, supposedly the Chiefs gave Love's mom and his girlfriend the last row in the
they showed it on screen. They showed it on camera. They were sitting in the very last row. Those are the assigned visitors' seats.
The last row, that's the assigned visitors' seats?
It's pretty sad, actually. And the other part that's really sad is that somehow, some way, no one thought to upgrade them.
Right. Just
even on the Packers, nobody in the organization said, you know what? Let's let his mom sit in a decent seat. Nobody did that.
Nobody likes his mom either. That's
sad. It's sad. I think that'll be Love's team for at least a year to see if he's the answer. He didn't look like it the other day, but whatever. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? So as we take a look at Week 10 in the NFL. Chicago, Cincinnati, Houston, and the Giants are on the bye. Cincinnati obviously desperately needs it. And my Giants, I think that's only going to help them. That's going to allow some of their, like Thomas to come back. That's going to allow Shepard to get healthy, Barkley another week. So maybe our offense will be full tilt mode when they come back next week. But they've got those teams that got the bye. Baltimore against Miami. Now, Baltimore, they've been winning their games. They've not been playing great. I can't imagine them not destroying Miami, but what are your thoughts?
I mean, you would think Baltimore is just the better team in this matchup. Andrews left injured the end of the last game, so it'll be interesting to see. He's their best offensive weapon, so to speak. I mean, Le'Veon, they're running backs, so Le'Veon Bell and Devontae Freeman. Can you say guys that are just, that are cast-offs? But
right.
Bell was getting big first downs down the stretch. Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown gets open. I mean, he's fast as anything. It's hard for me to fathom that Miami, who everybody, the Belichick coaching tree finally has Flores. Well, yeah. Let's see if Flores survives this season.
My God,
I mean, he took a team that was a game away from making the playoffs. They blew the last game of the season last year that would have gotten them in, and now they're 2-7.
Not good. And Baltimore is actually another one of those places that they're saying Odell could go to.
I mean, listen, he gives them another weapon, but why would you mess with Lamar Jackson? Just let him run his team.
I hear you.
I wouldn't even dare. I really wouldn't do it. I mean,
You know,
in that kind of game, you think Baltimore's gonna, I don't trust their running backs, but obviously you play Lamar. Obviously, if Andrews is healthy and Marquise, Hollywood Brown are healthy, those are the guys. For Miami, Tua didn't play last week, and you do see a difference when Tua doesn't play. They don't move the ball as much. But
right.
it looks like he's throwing lollipops, but somehow, some way, they get completed.
But you know what? I don't even know. I don't think I play anybody, if Tua is not playing.
No, you can't really. Devontae Parker's still hurt. Waddle hasn't been consistent. I mean, I don't trust anyone on the Dolphins, and Baltimore's D is not great. But, I wouldn't trust anybody there. What a Thursday night thriller that should be.
Oh.
You had Colts-Jets last week, where the Jets almost miraculously pulled that backdoor cover out until Josh got picked off inside the 5 at the end.
Yeah, that was weak. The week game. That was just ugly.
Yeah, they're giving the Thursday night schedule is awful. It really is.
What does it say about Indianapolis's defense? Like maybe Jacksonville might have a chance in this game against Indianapolis.
They just might. I mean, you figure that they're going to play better offensively than they did against Buffalo.
Right.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence isn't that bad. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, you look at the Jags, right? And I don't know if you start Trevor Lawrence yet. I don't think anybody really does. I mean, Wentz is definitely someone you could consider starting. Pittman's become like a bona fide one, right? I guess.
Right.
I mean, for them as a receiver, and your guy Taylor scored 41 of your 105 points. I'm going to keep pointing that out to you.
Yeah, thanks, jerk. Both my backs are in this game because James Robinson is scheduled to play this week. He didn't play last week, so maybe that'll help me out a little bit. But
you'll have both starting backs, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but do you think Jacksonville can cover this point spread?
I do. I think the game's going to be closer than people think.
Really?
Spread's about 10 right now. So let's see.
Yeah. Atlanta against Dallas. I already said I'm going to have to start Matt Ryan because my Joe Burrow, who I made the big trade for and did absolutely nothing for me last week, is off. So I got that going for me, which is nice. Now, is Zeke is a question mark for this game, isn't he?
Yeah, he got banged up at the end of the week last week also. And to be honest, Dak looked awful. Now, Atlanta's D is not nearly as good as Denver's D can be. Denver has some pretty good corners, and they can get, even though they traded Von Miller, can still get a rush. I would be stunned if Dallas had 2 clunkers in a row offensively.
Listen, Dak is no Cooper Rush, but who is?
Poor man's Cooper Rush.
That's right. New Orleans against Tennessee. Tennessee with a huge win last week. I don't think anybody expected that kind of difference in the game. Going up against New Orleans. New Orleans 5-3. Not sure who our quarterback's going to be in that game, but probably Simeon, like you said. But New Orleans, Tennessee. New Orleans is only 2.5-point underdogs in this game.
The funny thing with New Orleans is they're like an every other week team.
Mm-hmm.
Like they went into Foxborough and beat the crap out of the Patriots, right? And then they went in and they beat Tampa at home, only to lay an egg at home against the Falcons. Right. I'd be stunned if New Orleans doesn't win this game. How about that?
Really?
I don't even think about the points. I think New Orleans will win the game against them. I think they'll control the defensive line, and I think that they'll make it a little bit challenging for Tannehill. Just my take on it. I think that the Saints win. I don't know why.
Okay.
I think the Saints win. And I think that, no, you can't trust Simeon. You're only playing the superstars in this one. A.J. Brown has to play now every week, basically, without a real running game in Tennessee. And Tannehill, I don't know if I trust him in a matchup like this week. Julio Jones has been inconsistent at best, right? I mean, it's really hard to say. He's been really good. So, I mean, but for New Orleans, it's really the running game. It's Kamara.
Yeah.
And they
Adrian Peterson got in the end zone.
Who was that?
Adrian Peterson got in the end zone.
AP did get in the end zone.
But that's about all he did. He got in the end zone.
I mean, yeah, he got the 1 yard carry late. Good for him.
He was bringing the water to them.
Yeah,
he was
$53,000 a year. He beat the water guy with a switch.
Buffalo, New York. You have to imagine Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are going to bounce back this week.
They've had a couple of really bad weeks in a row, including a home game against Miami, where they ran it in late to cover the spread, which I thought was weird at the time. They
Right.
were up like 9, and they went up 16 by running it in when the game was out of reach. I was surprised. But yeah, I mean, the Jet O has actually looked pretty decent the last couple of weeks, but that'll end this week. I think
Right. Yeah.
that Buffalo probably. I don't know if they're going to cover the whole spread. I would think that they would, but it's one of those games that's going to be like 24-3, 24-10, something like that.
Yeah, and New York, Sala City is going to announce a starting quarterback, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that if White's able to play, he's the guy.
What do you say that? I mean, you got to find out whether or not Zach Wilson is your guy, yes or no.
I don't need to find out anything. What I need to find out is that fact that Zach Wilson's my quarterback next year, right? If Matt White can have a couple of good games and all of a sudden I can get a second or third round pick for him in the offseason because I know the job's going to Wilson, I'd rather showcase him. Okay. I'd rather him look pretty decent and somebody say, that's my guy. I'll give you a second. I'll give you a third. I'll do something, to get his rights. Because I know Zach is the guy. They're gonna go with him next year. I mean, whether he's good or bad doesn't matter. He's the quarterback next year.
Now you look at New England and Cleveland. You said that's the game of the week. New England is a 1-point favorite in this game. The question is which Cleveland offense comes, especially without Chubb.
The thing is that they played the third and fourth string running backs a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I know. I got
much of a problem, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
they're really not, not desperate. I mean, when it comes to the running game, they know how to run the ball. I mean, they really do. And Baker looked great last week. And the Bengals secondary, not awful normally. Awful the last 2 weeks. The Jets, Matt White lit them up, and then Baker did. New England will probably confuse him a little bit more, but I'd be. I think Cleveland has got a real shot in this game. It's going to be a very close game.
What I love is, did you notice they got rid of the cancer and they were extremely attractive last week?
Absolutely. I mean, it was like, everybody was playing with like that weight off their shoulders. It was interesting to watch.
The Lions got the wrong animal against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's at home, and they're 8.5-point favorites. And
you know what? I mean, Detroit has been bad.
Yeah.
The funny thing with them is that you actually feel like they play hard every week. They're just not very good.
Right.
I don't think that Pittsburgh is very good. I mean, watching them play last night did not impress me at all. I don't know if it impressed you. I didn't see. It didn't blow me away. I mean, the running back's a stud, Najee Harris. He really is. Right. I mean, he gets 2 yards a carry, but he runs really hard. He really does. I mean, Detroit, Goff is so inconsistent. They make a lot of weird plays. They get into the red zone, they go for it on fourth down and never, ever make it.
I got to tell you, though, Goff is not a good quarterback.
No, he's the number 1 pick of a draft. That tells you how weak that draft was. Wentz was too.
Yeah.
Wentz is a lot better than Goff, and Wentz isn't very good either. I mean, Jared Goff will probably not be the quarterback of Detroit next year.
Doesn't he have like another 3 years on his deal or something like that?
I believe he does, but I think they're going to try to find someone to replace him.
Who's going to take Jared Goff?
No, I'm saying he'll be your backup, but I think they'll try to find someone to become the starter. Can anyone say Matt White?
Draft, so.
Matt White. I'm pushing for Matt White. I need another top 2-3 round draft pick for the Jets next year.
Yeah, they're going to try.
I can fight my way back to 500.
They're gonna draft there. Give up their number 1 pick for Matt White.
No, second round. We would never get the first round pick.
Tampa against Washington. Tom Brady after a week off.
Washington also coming off that bye. Heineke ready to go. Ready to go, Heineke.
Yeah, he just obliterates this defense.
What's funny though is Heineke looked great against Tampa in the playoffs last year. You remember, right?
That's true.
That was his coming out game. He played great.
Yeah, I don't see that.
But there was Logan Thomas and and good players on his team a little bit. Their old line. Sheriff's great when he plays. He just never plays.
Right.
McLaurin's a must start. Antonio Gibson. You can't. Tampa has not been great against the pass or the run.
Right.
Tampa's D does not look